welcome to the fourth and final mini episode of Drinking with Dana. It's our holiday special week, so I really appreciate you being with me. If you've been watching on YouTube or watching on Twitch, either way, I appreciate you being here. Just as a reminder, we've been raising money for Lyra LB's pro bono legal work down in Atlanta, and I want to thank the Real Bothley for a generous donation. We are now a quarter of the way to the first bonus drink on the marathon stream tomorrow, so thank you very much. Hopefully we will get there. Hi to everyone out there. Hi, Repentinip. Hi, Ska. Hi, Winter Vespers. Hi. All right, Darth. I know your name in real life, but I'm not gonna say it. Your username is impossible to pronounce. Is it Chris? Oh, it's Christoph. Okay, Darth Christoph then. It's for those who don't see the stream on YouTube or wherever. It's spelled with a lot more K's and Z's than one would reasonably expect, I think. Oh, and thank you, Repentinip, who says I have gorgeous hair today. Literally, I just took it down from a clip, and this is. Some days it looks like this. Some days it most certainly does not. Okay. Darth Christoph says that their name is a weird Polish spelling of it. So, thank you for that information. I apologize if I was offensive saying that it was unreasonable to pronounce. I am a little bit. I can only imagine how I'm going to be at the end of tomorrow's stream. On that note, let's get a drink. So. This is, I'm going to do a gin and tonic, and I'm going to do it the way that I and my dad have always made them. It's actually a little bit different than your standard gin and tonic. Well, it's a lot different. And actually, hold on just a second. To make a gin and tonic, you need tonic water, and I forgot to get that. All right, so most gin and tonics are literally just that. It's you add some gin to your glass, you pour the tonic water in, maybe add a slice of lime, then it's done. This is different. What I do is I take the juice of half a lime, about 2 ounces of gin, and then just pour the tonic, a full bottle or can of tonic water in to mix it up. And it is a lot taller, a lot more refreshing. It's a little bit, I want to say it's a little bit like a gin Ricky, or a, almost, well, not quite like a gimlet, but a little bit more leaning that way. I mean, I think everyone knows the history of gin and tonics, about how the British Army in India needed a way to keep their soldiers from getting malaria. Ska says that she's on Team Gin, which, yes, very much am too. Anyway, so the British Army needed a way to keep their people from getting malaria, and they knew that quinine was a way to do that. So they put quinine in tonic water, and then, so back when they were doing this, tonic water was not a fixed recipe. It basically just was a water or a liquid with a bunch of different herbs in them. Most of them were said to be medicinal, and that's why you get, it's a tonic for what ails you. These days, it's a very fixed flavor and recipe. Well, I don't want to say it's fixed, but it's, variations on a theme. They're all kind of going for that same thing. Now, I should also note that these days, drinking gin and tonics is not going to prevent malaria, no matter how much we want it to, because they do not put enough quinine in the tonic water to affect the malaria. And also, there are variants of malaria which are now quinine resistant. So it's not going to save you. Unfortunately, you should get your vaccinations. This is a very pro-vaccination channel. If you're not pro-vaccination, rethink things. So, I'm going to build this not in the typical order. I'm going to add the gin first because I know, basically I know when I pour gin into a glass roughly how much it is. If I add the lime juice, I'm not sure how much juice I got out of there. So I know I'm all going to pour this by hand. The amounts I gave you are rough. Like I say, it's about 2 ounces of gin. If you're feeling like you want a lighter drink, pour a little bit less. If you want a stronger drink, pour a little bit more. I'm going to pour about that much in. Yeah, so you can see good layer at the bottom. That might have been actually a little bit more than 2 ounces, but not too much more. Then I'm going to get out a knife, and I am going to cut this lime roughly in half. Now we get very good big limes here. So as you can see, this is a lime all the way to the edge of the rind. Now a lot of them you'll get a lot of pith around the edge. The way you can find a good ripe lime is you want it to be practically smooth on the outside. The more textured it is, the less ripe it is. The more smooth it is, the more juice you're going to get out of it. And unfortunately, that also means the less long it's going to stay good in your fridge. So it's if you go through a lot of limes, get this kind. I go through enough limes that it's worth getting that. So I'm just going to squeeze this. I'm just doing it by hand because I didn't want to get out and wash the string or the press. But here we go. Let's see. So I would say that's probably another ounce to an ounce and a half of lime juice if you're measuring. Like I say, I just do half a lime and I squeeze the heck out of them. I'll get rid of that later. I should just leave it there, but all right. There. All right. So you can see now, cloudy with lime juice, and actually it looks like a little bit more than an ounce and a half. Well, about an ounce and a half, 2 ounces of mate. I've never gotten 2 ounces of lime juice out of a half a lime, but that seems like a lot. Oh wait, I already added. Don't want to add more gin. Well, maybe I want to add more gin, but shouldn't add more gin. Oh wait, Scott says we can't. Oh, yes, I held it up to the camera there. Oh, I need to step back a bit, maybe. Oh, I see what the problem is. I never actually put on the recipe. There we go. That's why you're seeing. You can't see anything. Like I say, I'm a little out of it tonight. Sorry about that. All right. So we've got the gin, the lime juice, and so they've been selling these tonic waters in. You used to be able to get them in cans, so that's 12 ounces. Then you can only find it in these little bottles, which are 10 ounces, which is okay. You're getting a little less tonic water. And then lately, last time I went to the store, and I meant to pull one of these out, they had them in the mini cans, which are, I think, 7.5 ounces. And if you go down to the 7.5 ounces, I would either cut back on your gin and your lime juice, or just use 2 of the cans, and it'll be a little less strong, but if you have a decent glass, it should work. So, all right. So, oh, and also I use diet tonic water. I'm just using Schweppes because I can find it at the grocery store. It's not very expensive. I use diet because I can't honestly tell the difference between regular tonic water and diet tonic water. I know there are people who can, or at least claim to, but there is a surprising amount of sugar in regular tonic water. There are a lot of calories in there. If you use diet tonic water, you're only basically paying the calories of the gin. So the entire drink, which is a nice tall drink, which will last you a while, it's about 90 calories for the whole thing. So for those of us who are maybe a little on the heavier side, it's not a bad way to do it. And like I say, I'm just pouring the the tonic water here into the glass. That stirs it up fine. If you want to be fancy, you can put a lime wheel on it, or put the. There are a lot of people who put it over ice, or put the squeezed lime half in the glass. I think that just gets in the way of drinking it, honestly. So I just have it straight as is, just like this. So cheers. Um, so, sorry, I was distracted there. This is, in my mind, the most refreshing drink. This is what I have when I've been working out in the yard all day and I am exhausted but want a cocktail. It's got a lot of a lot of fluid to it and not a ton of booze. And it's also got a lot of lime juice to help get you some electrolytes back. And as Lori says, I often modify this for her by adding some simple syrup just before I add the tonic water, and that sweetens it up quite a bit. As it is, it's not overly tart, but Lori has quite a bit of a sweet tooth. So this, I think, is just nice and, like I say, not too tart, but nice and citrusy and refreshing. And if you gulp it down because you're thirsty, it's not going to really mess you up. It depends how much gin you add to it, but as is, this is like, I think I figured it out at one point. So the gin is 40% alcohol, and it's only, roughly 2 ounces of gin, so 14 ounces, 1/7 of it. I don't know. I did the math at one point. It's very low percentage alcohol. It's about like drinking a beer, I think. So someone else can do the math for me. Like I say, rough day. So anyway, that's all there is to it. This is how I like my gin and tonics. It's very different and it's very tasty. So, oh, and Ska and Winter Vespers are both commenting that I have pretty nails. They are unfortunately getting very chipped at this point. You can see some of the ends are coming off, but I do love this nail polish. It was my go-to for a long time. I found it at actually, back in the old days, before I was out about being trans, or before I even knew that I was trans, it was my, I have to use air quotes on this, just a cross-dresser phase. I would go down to Disneyland for vacations, and I think I was down there for my birthday at one point, and I think I was just down there for a trip, but I want to get my nails done, and they have a salon down there, or they used to, at one of the big hotels. And I went in and got my nails done, and they used this polish, and it was fantastic. So I bought a bottle of it when I got home, and have gone through like 2 or 3 of them because I just love the color, and it's very nice for the holidays, and whenever you want sort of blood of my enemies but sparkly for your nails, then it's great. I think it's Spa Rituals is the name of the brand, and I can't remember the name of the color, but if you look, you'll find this basically sparkly red. They also do a green one. I have this also in green, so maybe I'm not gonna have time to do my nails tonight. It's still gonna be messed up tomorrow, I'm afraid. And Darth Christoph gives a heart to that, and Ska again appreciates the sparkly. So yeah, the sparkly does not show up, unfortunately, very well on camera. Otherwise I would be wearing a lot more sparkly makeup when I'm here. And It's Winter Cole says laughed at it. Anyway, so yes, I would wear more sparkly makeup and things, but it doesn't show up on camera, so we'll have to wait till I have a full studio with an audience and all of that. And I'm glad It's Where Nicole, she says that she likes the color, even if you can't see the sparkles. Thank you, I appreciate it. I do really like this. So, all right, well, I think that's where we're going to call it. Thank you for everyone who's been showing up and enjoying these mini episodes. it's starting to make me think that maybe, doing more of these mini episodes at some point in the future might not be a bad plan, or maybe different days of the week if they work better for folks. We'll see. We'll have to see. But please, if you can join us tomorrow for the big long marathon stream, I'm starting at 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern, I believe. And I'm going to go until the normal show time and then do the normal show. And so that means we're probably going to finish up at about 7:30 or so, my time. So if you can show up, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it. I think I've been pretty clear that one of my not so secret plans about doing all this is to get affiliate status on Twitch, and it means I need to keep an average of 3 viewers for the entire 8 hours of programming I've done this month. And so far we've been great. We've had plenty of people on, and I appreciate you all. And now if I can keep it up for the big long stream and not bring my average down too much, so I would appreciate it if you could all be there. Also, I just like talking to you. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here in my kitchen talking to myself, narrating what I'm doing like a weirdo. So, actually, no, that's not weird. That's just me. I do that all the time, and I'm going to own it. All right, so let's see. Yes, Lori says she's giving up access to her kitchen tomorrow, so you should all watch. And yes, absolutely. It's Winter Nicole says that this is the first one that she's caught, but she's going to catch up via YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate that. I even if folks can't watch live, I appreciate you all who watch on YouTube. You're all fantastic. Ska says it's always so nice to see your show. Thank you. It's always so nice to see you out there in the audience in the chat. I really appreciate it. And Lori confirms that I do, in fact, stand in the kitchen and narrate what I'm doing to myself. And again, and I'm going to just type this for the folks in chat. Okay, sorry. Clicked on the wrong thing. There. All right, so just typing that for the folks in the chat and for everyone out in YouTube. We are raising funds for Lyra LB's work. As I said at the beginning of the stream, if you can afford to donate, we'd really appreciate it. It's a really worthwhile cause. If you can't, don't worry. Donations are appreciated, but things are rough out there for everyone right now. Trust me, I completely understand that. So if you can afford to donate, great. If you can't, that's fine too. And we appreciate everyone who has donated already. And again, if you let me know when you've donated, because I can only see the ones that they post on the GoFundMe page. But if you donate there and let me know, for every $100 we get in donations, I'm going to add a bonus drink onto the end of tomorrow night's stream. And I've got 3 of them typed up already. I'm going to try and do at least 2 more tonight. I'm capping it out at $500. If we get to $500, I don't know what I'm going to do, but in addition to that 5th drink, I will do something. I promise. But I appreciate anything that anyone can give, $1, or even if you can't, I still appreciate you just being here. I normally try not to beg for tips or anything, but we're doing this for charity, so I'm going to be a little shameless on this. So, all right. Thank you all for being here. I'm not going to raid. I took a look to see if there was anyone to raid to, because I actually remembered before the stream ended, but there wasn't anyone out there that I really felt like streaming to today. So I'm just going to say good night and end the stream here. Take care, everyone.